Peace and blessings to the family. I've been watching the sports news today, ESPN, Fox, and all the other stuff, and they've been talking about this hot topic about LeBron James and a reply to Charles Barkley. Most of the media has taken a perspective that LeBron went a little bit too far, LeBron was a little bit too personal. I think here's a point that couple points I don't think anybody thought about. Number one, Charles Barkley crossed the line when you call a man whiny and you call a man non-competitive. And non-competitive is a real stickler. Because if you'll notice, Shaq almost was disgusted with the notion that Charles Barkley would say, LeBron is not competitive. Like, are you kidding me? Shaq told him, don't you ever say LeBron's not competitive. When you say a man is not competitive, you say that he's not striving for superiority over others. Almost as if you're saying LeBron wants to play high school players in order to have his legacy handed to him on a silver platter. And when Charles Barkley does that, it's a subtle dig that says that, hey, I'm Charles Barkley. We competed against the greats. I got beat by Michael Jordan or whoever kicked his ass where he couldn't win a championship. So to say that LeBron wants all the good players, everybody needs good players. Everybody has complained. There was a time when Michael Jordan was livid when they traded Charles Oakley for, what's this guy named Cartwright? So he was livid. So did that make Michael Jordan whiny because he wanted one player as opposed to another, or he wanted a player that he thought fit into their system to allow him an opportunity to win and to compete with the bad boys? So that was a serious, subtle dig at LeBron's legacy and at his competitive fever. We all praise Michael Jordan and say he was an assassin. He was so highly competitive. And for Charles Barkley to say that LeBron doesn't want to compete, that was like super whack. Like, Charles, you don't say that, especially they're supposed to have some type of fraternity. Like, LeBron has did a good job of representing the NBA. And here's another point. Charles Barkley is really not relevant today outside of being a talker. That's what, in fact, he's a greater analyst, basketball analyst, than he ever was a player. He's an even greater talker. He's getting more publicity now as a talker. In fact, even when he was playing, he got most of his publicity from talking. So that's something that that LeBron should look at. Like, LeBron, they have to criticize you. Skip Bayless has made a career off of criticizing LeBron, and it become like really, really popular for others who are LeBron supporters defending LeBron against Skip Bayless. And last point, I'll close with this. LeBron is, as Floyd Mayweather would call it, the cash cow of the National Basketball Association right now. He is the Michael Jordan of the NBA. Look, these guys are getting paid so much. Even Barkley, the people who talk about it now, I think Skip Bayless has a $5 million a year contract to talk. If you don't have great personalities and ambassadors like LeBron James, and there's some others in there now, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, Russell Westbrook. If you don't have these guys to talk about, and LeBron is the number one guy, you don't get that type of salary. And so they all are complaining so much about how much these mediocre NBA players are making. What about you mediocre analysts? What about you people who are not even the source of all of the revenue and income that's coming? Because TNT, ESPN, and all of these networks pay the NBA exorbitant amount of money to be able to cover these games, use the footage from these games, etc., etc. And you guys' salaries are predicated on these players. In this particular case, we're talking about NBA players. So I think the analysts, the sports talk show hosts, like, hey, look into it, guys, because these guys are the source of your income. So to continue to attack these guys' manhood and character, critique their games, but all that calling them soft, all of that saying they don't want to compete. I think Jalen Rose probably hit it best when he checked Skip Bayless talking about calling Chris Bosh Spice, and all of these negative connotations where they are trying to change the narrative of these professional athletes' legacy, career, and influence the masses of people on what we think about these people with their words. Charles, we all know LeBron James is a hell of a competitor. And he wins, Charles. He wins. He's not standing at the free throw line as he stated in his comments, laughing with Michael Jordan while he gets his ass kicked. He wins, Charles. 3 wins. So